What's up, Madridistas? This is Kiyan Sobhani. It is currently Sunday, just after 10 a.m. Eastern / 4 p.m. CET. It is the day of Supercopa Clásico final, and I realize it's a very weird time to be uploading something because in a few hours, we're going to be taking the field against Barcelona in a Super Cup final, and no doubt a big game, which means lots of match coverage, a detailed post-game podcast that will go up later tonight as well. So why am I uploading in this weird time frame? Well, I had a bit of time this morning, and I tried to put out as many clips as possible for you guys because we gotta push out as much content as we can, push out as much quality content as we can. It's not mindless. So this particular segment is actually timeless anyway. It's not time sensitive. You can listen to it anytime between now, which is a good time if you have some time to kill before the Clásico and you're losing your mind and the day is going by too slow, or you can listen to it anytime from now until forever because it's not time sensitive. And it's actually taken from this week's mailbag that went up, or sorry, this week's live call. So I'm getting it mixed up. We have so much content. So the live call is something that members get. If you're a member of our podcast, which means you're a patron, and you've signed up over on patreon.com/managingmadrid, every single week we create a Zoom call where every member can join. And it's basically a big living room of Madridistas. It's like sitting around with your family, drinking tea, having some sweets, and just talking about football and Real Madrid. The only difference is between this and your family at home is that this is guaranteed. Every single person in the living room is a diehard Madridista. Not just a Madridista, a diehard Madridista. And it's a space we've created that is so fun, and I'm so glad we started this because it's been a pleasure meeting you guys. So if you ever want to be a part of something like that, every week the call goes about 3 hours because we answer every single question that comes our way on the Zoom call. If you ever wanted to speak to us directly and you're not sure how, that's the best way to do it. So this particular clip is taken from the live call. Someone asked us to rank all of Real Madrid's Champions League victory runs in terms of degree of difficulty since 2014. So nothing before that. So we're not getting into the 2000 and before range, any of that stuff. Not La Novena. Anything before La Novena, we are not counting. But from Decima and on, we're ranking in terms of degree of difficulty. So this is an entire conversation of us talking through it in real time. And it's a lot of fun, and I'm really glad we did it, and you can kind of get a sense of what these live calls are like. On that note, if you're a member, not only do you get the weekly live call, but you also get a mailbag and the post-game show midweek if Real Madrid plays midweek. So the Atletico Super Cup semifinal, if you're wondering, hey, where the hell is that post-game podcast? Well, midweek post-game shows are only for members. So anytime Real Madrid play in the Champions League, Copa del Rey, etc., that's only for members. Make sure you get in on the action, patreon.com/managingmadrid. Alternatively, if you don't have Patreon in your country and you're watching this on YouTube, then just simply hit the memberships tab on YouTube and you'll get the content. All right, guys, enjoy the clip, the full episode, which was 3 hours in the show notes. Enjoy it, and let's get to it. Awesome. Thanks for joining the call, buddy. Next up, we got Zuhair Sawan. Zuhair, I know you've been eager. You've been reminding us about the live call, so sorry it came so late, man.
Hell yeah. It's not even the question today is it's going to be like a fun question. It's a silly question.
Okay.
Not going to talk about the team. Just a while ago, a few weeks ago, I was watching some guy on YouTube, and he was doing this tier list on Champions League finals.
Okay.
And the tier list was like 2008, 2009, all the way to 2023. And
just in honestly, terms of how fun they were or entertainment value?
I think, how fun they were, who was the best team, and there was some bias, views on there. But hey, it is what it is. Honestly, the only reason I clicked on the video, I just want to see Real Madrid get into them, because I don't give a shit about Chelsea versus City or Bayern versus Dortmund or Barca versus Juventus. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was eager to see and then the only final that Real Madrid made it to the A list, to the best tier, was the 2017. I was like, oh damn, okay. And the rest was like, some of them were boring, some of them I was like, I ignored that. And then later on I found out he was a Barca fan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But my question is this, right?
Hmm.
So 2018 was this our run in Champions League final 2018 and in 2022. Which one, in your opinion, was the hardest that had the hardest teams, the hardest way to get to Champions League, including the final?
Okay, so the whole run.
Yeah, so like all the way round 16, did the final, winning the final, and same thing, 2018 and 2022. Which one, in your opinion, was like we had the harder opponents, or like the harder way?
So my
Yeah,
answer right off the bat is 2022 was definitely harder. But
Oh,
just
yeah.
just to be fair, let me bring it up because maybe I'm misremembering.
2018 was tough. 2018, come on, we all
Oh,
had we had some
definitely wasn't
nasty.
easy, but 2022 was really tough, I think. So let me just, okay, so 2017, 2018, that's the season you're referring to, the one we beat Liverpool in the final as well, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so PSG, Juve, Bayern, Liverpool, that's fucking tough, yeah. But I think the difference maybe was that the 2018 team still had Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale doing some amazing things, and so the team was stronger.
Let's break this down. Why don't we? I love thinking about this, and I think like just when you ask this, I think it's closer than we give it credit for, Kian. But
Maybe.
there's a gap too. In that so 2017 we played Bayern, 2018 we played Bayern. I would argue if you had to group like the top tier of teams we played, 2022 Liverpool, 2022 City, 2018 Bayern, 2017 Bayern. I would put them all in the top tier. And I guess 2017 Juve. So 2017 we faced two top tier teams. 2018 I would argue we only played one. That's really where the difference is for me. Bayern was crazy. I think Liverpool were really good, but they're not as good as the Liverpool who played in 2022. They were much weaker. If we're
Really?
there. Yeah, 2017-18, they had Loris Karius in goal. Didn't even have Alisson then.
And Ramos broke Salah's neck like
Yeah.
after 5 minutes.
It's not
I
close.
think-
Salah broke his own neck.
That Liverpool team did not even finish over 80 points in the Premier League. It's not comparable for me. That was the first Liverpool team that was good, but also the last Liverpool team that wasn't like a 90. So when you look at it that way, and then I think Napoli in 2017 were harder. We didn't play them in 2018. So Napoli in 2017 were a tough team. They were a 90-point Serie A team, right?
yeah.
They
I
pushed-
still remember the game we played in the second leg, Napoli versus Real Madrid at the Olympic, I think before it was called Olympic. And 45 minutes, the first half, Real Madrid couldn't do shit. Like they were just Napoli attack. And if it wasn't for like Ramos saving our ass by like 2 goal headers, like that game would have went the other way. But I
That
think
was a
2018
better-
was harder.
that
I
was
will never
arguably
forget that
better.
Juve game, bro. That Juve game, the 3-1 at the Bernabeu, that was a nightmare.
Oh my God,
That
yeah.
was just a weaker Juve team, though. Would you not say than the year before? We were just bad that game.
Yeah, Fayefo
Yeah.
and Varane at center back. What do you expect?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that also PSG were at the beginning of building this super team, ended up failing. Neymar, Mbappe, Cavani, Di Maria, Verratti, whatever. And then Juventus almost had the same squad as the year before, and they were the Champions League, the Champions League finale, like a team that played in Champions League a year before the final. So they're a tough team, and we almost got knocked out. I mean, Allegri was orchestrating knocking us out if it was for that penalty at the end. And Bayern, if you guys remember, Bayern the semifinal in both games.
That was
they
so
were better
tough.
than us.
Yeah, that was
Like Navas
grueling.
was
Classic
So-
Real Madrid Bayern matchup. Why don't we do it this way? So why don't we go round by round and compare the opponents and the degree of
And
difficulty?
let's put a difficulty score on each opponent. So to at least systematize it. So like if they're like the hardest tier of team, let's do 4. If they're really good but below 3. If they're okay 2, and we didn't face any 1s, but 1 is if they're just bums. So all right. 20
This just made it so complex. I was just gonna say which one was better, but Sid is bringing
Yeah,
out
Sid,
like
I
a
have to
tier rating
What's up?
system,
Fine,
whole
let's do
formula
3-star.
algorithm.
Fine,
Can you
let's
write
do
it down
Yeah,
for us,
Sid, I have
Sid?
to
Do you have a
write it
blackboard
out for
behind
me.
you? Write it down. I don't even know what you said.
I'll do it on a Google Doc. 3-star system, right? Every team, 1, 2, or 3. Rank them, add it up. Let's just see. Because
and let him do it. Let him do it.
All right,
And
so
let's
Lead
start
the
from
way.
2014. Why not? Let's start from 2014 because we play some good teams there too.
Oh my
Okay,
God!
so-
Now we're factoring in more than two Champions League runs.
we can do it fast. Trust, round by
Why
round.
don't we
All
go
right.
back to 1950?
All right.
No, because from 2014 to 2022, it's all just Zidane and Ancelotti. It's not going to be too bad.
Okay.
All right, so 3-star system, 3-star contender. Actually, I still think 4-star system works better. 4-star super team, 3-star contender. 2-star is good, but nothing special. 1-star is bum. So
Okay.
good.
What are you reading? You just
Contender.
made this up. It looks like you're reading a document with the rules.
I'm creating the rules. I'm saying like if you break down teams, like that's how I segment teams. There's like super team, there's Champions League contender, but not a super team, like maybe us this season. There's good teams that are not contenders, and then there's just bums who are not contenders or good.
Okay.
So
Okay.
2014, round of 16, who do we play?
In what year?
Schalke.
Schalke.
20,
Oh,
They got
okay.
hammered.
one.
Bums.
All right, one.
Schalke, and we scored 9 goals over the 2 legs.
That's a one. Next.
Calling Schalke bums is so harsh.
Okay,
BVB, Borussia
2016.
Dortmund.
Dortmund.
Oh,
No.
we talking about the same year?
we're-
So are you moving up round 16 quarterfinal or just like the year
Quarterfinal.
after? Okay,
Let's do
quarterfinal played
quarterfinal. Let's
Borussia
just tally
Dortmund.
it. Let's tally year by year so we can add it up at the end. And like we
Okay, so we played quarterfinal. We played Borussia Dortmund.
what do you guys think? 2 or 3?
That I think it's a level up Schalke. Although the other game was pretty bad.
All right,
Like-
I'm gonna go 3 because they almost beat us and they were Klopp's Dortmund. They had a lot of veteran experience. I'm gonna give them that respect. 3 contender. Next semifinal Bayern Munich. Oof, is that a super team or a contender?
That's
yeah,
a
that
4.
was an absolute
That's super team.
That's a
Super
4.
team, treble winner.
Pep
All right.
Guardiola. Don't forget Pep Guardiola.
Atletico final. Is that a 3 or 4? I would argue that's a 4.
That's
They
a
were
4.
considered-
For
that's a
sure.
four. All right.
for La Liga champion that year.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so 2014 comes out to, see how simple this is, guys? It's so fast, too. 4, 8, 11, 12, 2014. Next, 2016, probably the easiest run. Round of 16.
1, 4.
Who?
Yeah, we played Roma in round of 16. They were
They had
Spalletti was
Salah,
good
right?
and Mohamed Salah was kind of getting in.
So
Yeah,
one-
Roma,
so it's one.
Wolfsburg,
1. Wolfsburg's a 1.
And City.
City,
and
oh my
then
God,
Pellegrini City.
that's a 2. Probably a 1, but I'll give them a 2. They're good. They're not a contender, but they're good. So it fits the definition of 2. And then the final, Atletico. I'm going to have to give them a 4 because they eliminated Barca and Bayern. Miran, I don't disagree. You can give them a 3.5. But look at who they beat those years, and it's hard to give them anything but a 4. They made 2 finals in 3 years. They almost won the
Miran,
league.
no way. You get out of here, Miran. That's a 4 for Atletico for sure. That team was historic defensive team, like arguably the greatest defensive team we've ever seen. Hard team to
Okay.
play.
Okay, so 8. So that year was literally 2/3 as hard as 20. We can unmute Miran. How about let's tally this and then let's unmute a few people. Have this discussion.
Miran, no one. You can unmute yourself. No one needs to unmute. You're a big boy. You can do it.
Listen, all right, you chumps. First of all, that Atleti team, yes, defense, blah blah blah. However, that was a one-man team in attack. Okay, and you have to take context.
Diego
into the picture
Costa?
here, because on paper, yes, Diego Costa. On paper, sure,
Griezmann?
yes, great team.
Oh,
whatever.
Griezmann and on Torres, and you had Carrasco.
What
No,
we're talking
that
about
was
the
that was
20
the second
20
team.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, 2013, 2014 season.
And Diego
yeah.
Costa got injured.
They were exactly. That's it. So you have to take in the picture what this team was facing. And it's not like he got injured in the 89th minute after terrorizing Madrid or whatever. He came into the... I know because I wrote the preview on managing Madrid for that Atleti team, and I broke down the offense. Diego Costa was injured immediately into that game. That significantly weakened Atleti. I know we're just arguing for fun here, 3-4.
My only
It doesn't
counterpoint-
matter because we're all going to die soon enough anyway. But that Atleti team was a one-trick pony defensively. And yes, it almost worked because Iker made the mistake, but they didn't do anything throughout their own merit to proactively win that match. Okay?
Right.
That was a good team that lucked out with Madrid failing down the stretch in the league and that contentious game against Barcelona that they won. Credit to them. Fine. I don't think you can put that if a 4 is the Bayern team that this Madrid team detonated. I don't know if you can say Atleti
All right.
is as well rounded a team as that Bayern if that's what a 4 is.
I think that Athletic team could have beat that Bayern team though in the final as well. That was a great team, man. Regardless of Diego Costa, absolutely they could have. Like defensively, I've never seen anything like that Atletico team ever. Not even like early Italian 2000s.
Oh, come on.
I think
come on
in
now.
2016, Atletico Madrid had better defense than 2014, if I'm not mistaken.
They were
Yeah,
both.
They were both good, but 2016, they're like the team that Diego Simeone really assembled the team that he wanted. Like Godin was becoming one of the best defenders. What was it? Was it Savic? God damn, Savic is a veteran. And Filipe Luis and Juan
David
Fran.
Villa
Pretty
and
good
all
team.
of that. Come on, guys. He was cooked by that point. Like, let's
It was his
not.
last good season.
It's a little bit revisionist history. He was just there in name only. Anyway, go on.
You're acting like we wiped the floor with them. That was one of the hardest games we played all season. Maybe the hardest.
The final?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was brutal. To this day, I still can't watch the entire. I still haven't rewatched the entire match because it gives me too much anxiety. But I do know the moments, and Gareth Bale by himself terrorized them all match long.
Right.
He could have had 2, maybe 3 goals. He buries 1 or 2 of those early. They have nothing to proactively push back with in attack with Costa being out.
No.
They had nothing. They were going to bunker down on an early goal the entire game. Bale scores one of those early ones. That could have been a whitewashing of a match because they would have had nothing. They would have had to commit with mediocre players going forward, and this Madrid team on the counter would have crushed them.
No, I don't disagree.
Hey.
The only caveat is that was the last game of the season and everyone was injured. So do you account for that? Like we weren't even as strong as we used to be. Were we even a four?
Yeah. Pepe was, out. Xavi was hurt. Guys were running on fumes. I know Ronaldo was and Benzema were coming into it injured. Fully remembered. But availability trumps inavailability, and Costa had to go off, and they had nothing. I mean, their 1 goal was off of a stupid mistake. Anyway, go on.
3.5. We're making a 3.5 because you made a great argument. So
Fair
we're going to go.
We're just going to let someone come in and just derail the whole point system? I'm still putting that team a 4.
I'm an agent of chaos. What can I say?
If it comes to a tiebreaker, we'll revisit, but let's just get to 2017 now. So 11.5, 2014, 8, 2016 right now. So 2017, round of 16, Napoli, where are we putting them? 3?
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I'd say 3. They had pretty good offense.
All right, 3. Then Bayern Munich, 4, no doubt. I'm not even asking. I'm not asking. But Atletico Madrid that year, that's a tough one. I'm going to say that year was a 3. They were not a 4 that year.
Yeah, true.
All right.
I think that's a 4 too. Oh, wait.
2017. Come on. They didn't even finish.
Was that that was the Benzema magic at the Calderon?
Yeah. People only remember Benzema dribbling past all the defenders, but I think it was the game of Modric at that time.
Modric was incredible that game. Yeah, Modric was amazing.
3.5?
Yeah, 3.5.
Okay. Just because they're such a respected knockout team. They didn't lose to anyone but us in the knockouts for like 5 years, remember?
Well, the Calderon was is a tough place to play, especially that was the last game ever at the Calderon. It was a madhouse.
Yep. 3-4, 3.5. Oh, last game ever. That's crazy. And then the final was a 4, no doubt. That was a great Juve team. So 2017, holy crap. 4, 8, 11.5, 14.5. So by far the hardest so far. And now 2018. So it looks like the first 2 were just way easier, no matter how we spin this. 2018, round of 16, PSG. I'm giving them a 3 because Unai Emery had them set up well, but not like some bona fide favorite, like super team. They were a good super team.
And Zidane cooked him with Asensio and Vasquez as the 2 traditional wingers in the second leg. It was hilarious.
Remember, he played Kovacic too. Like it was Kovacic,
Casemiro,
Kovacic double pivot.
Oh my god!
Yeah. He rested a bunch of players for a league game next, I think.
That was insane. I don't think Casemiro's ever won like a game in a double pivot since then. But that game, he looked like a god, which is so funny.
PSG looked menacing in that in those 2 legs up until Zidane and Emery both made their subs in the first leg, and then it was just game over. Like the everything turned. But like the first half, like Neymar was killing us of the first leg.
Yeah.
Okay, next round.
What did you give them? 3?
3.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals. I'm going to give it a 3 to that Juve team. I don't care if they beat us 3-0. They weren't some super team. Fact is, I think they would have been a 2.5 if we didn't play like trash in the first leg. It's only a 3 because we played like bums in the second leg. What do you guys think?
3
I
is fair.
agree. Yeah.
3, not even 2.5? Any 2.5 takers?
No, man. I even think 3 is kind of low. I'll have to go 3.5, honestly.
All right, 3.
Because they still had some good names. Higuain, Dybala, Douglas Costa, some
They
great
barely
ones.
beat Spurs around before is a great point. They barely beat Spurs, and then they came out and said it's the history of Spurs. Yo, you were on the ropes, like you barely won that tie, bro. But I get it. All right, so 3-9. The semifinal was a 4. I'm gonna say that,
Wait, no. That Bayern I don't think was a 4 because Ulrich was their goalkeeper for both legs.
but they
Neuer
actually
was
Every
injured.
Bayern is a 4. Every Bayern is a 4.
okay. So I'll hear you out, Mehdi, but I'll just say this: they had James, and they created more chances over the 2 legs in this 2018 than 2017, and we created less. Like on XG, there was a huge gap between 2018 and 17. We got 2017, you could say we got lucky to go through, but actually 2018 was the year when Lewandowski didn't he choke like 2-3 XG of chances against us? So why don't we go 3.5, Mehdi? What do you think? I like that suggestion.
Okay, yeah, I think 3.5 is fair.
Actually,
Wait.
how about this? I'm gonna go 4, and I'm gonna say Liverpool's a 3. What do you guys think of that? I don't think Liverpool's over a 3.
Wait,
Yeah.
I don't feel. So what do we give Bayern?
4.
Thank you.
3.5. He said 3.5.
No.
I'll go
As of now,
4,
it's a
bro.
4, but
That
I'm
Bayern
considering.
was.
It's a
Hanks
4.
was doing himself, bro. He was cooking. If
Okay,
it
it's a
wasn't for
4, but
Navas and Marcelo doing some miracles,
Has to be a 4. Has to be a 4.
Yeah. No, actually, when you consider that their goalie literally had to gift us a goal for us to get through, and that they had James and Lewandowski miss like 3 goals.
Well, our goalie gifted one to them too, so.
True. All right. So Liverpool, how about this? Let's say we go err on the higher for Bayern. I'm very comfortable calling Liverpool a 3. I'm not comfortable giving them over a 3.
Yeah,
They
that
only
Liverpool
beat
team
City.
beat Roma. They beat Roma to get to the final.
he barely beat Roma in the second leg. They almost choked it.
And Man City weren't that good that year when they beat them. Man
And
City,
yeah, they did not that Man City, yeah. Man City, Porto, but he was still good. Like just Mane, Mohamed Salah, and Firmino, they were like that Liverpool team. They really shaped up Liverpool.
That's why
Take one of them
I'm
out. Yeah.
That's why I don't want to give them too overrating, because in the end it's Liverpool in the Champions League. They have the second best DNA in the tournament, and they had great individual players. And like, I don't know if going into and talking about like Salah getting injured in the final, like that's situational in the final, but like heading into it, you know, the degree of difficulty against that team was decently high. But I'm also comfortable with rating Bayern higher though. So I just think
if you look at every other Liverpool team, that you can't put them in the same tier as that Liverpool team. That's where I'm like, fine.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, I'll do 3.5 out of respect to them. Fine, I respect Liverpool. 13.5. 11.5.
Miran, you sure you don't want to give them a 1? What's your standard? What would you give like Brazil 1970s Pelé? It's a 1.
No. I think the only way I can make a case for that Liverpool being anything less than a 4 was who they had in goal. Because that was the single biggest mismatch between the 22 players plus benches by far, and enough to swing a tie.
Oh, and they had Lovren at center back. Yeah, like come on, 3.5 for Lovren at center back.
You're speaking to a Croatian. Be careful.
Yeah. Don't believe me. I'm not a fan of his. The thing that to me makes them a 4 is that was early Klopp Liverpool where they still had their legs and they could press like fiends, and everyone was young and fit and didn't have all this mileage that they may have had in the later final, and especially
you're right.
They had that attacking 3 and they were all young, full of energy. They're blitzing everyone. I know they barely got past Roma, etc. I know, but this Madrid team barely got past a number of teams in the last decade, and yet we still rate them highly. So,
that's a good argument. I would say that's a great argument, only because what's his name? Like you said, Henderson actually tanked the final against us 4 years later, and he was way better in that 2017-18 final. So that's actually a great argument.
Right. Yep. So anyway,
Okay, so let's just say, regardless of how we do this, there is like a small gap emerging between each year. Like, even if you err, you have to really like make a lot of assumptions to make these seasons converge. So I think that's good. 2022 is the last one. Let's do it, and then we're gonna have our rankings discussion. Round of 16, PSG. We're gonna go three.
That's what's going on? Is someone, guys, please mute your microphones. Hold on. I'm gonna mute all, and then the people speaking can unmute. Sorry,
I love the
continue, Sid.
diversity of opinions. Like, one person's like 2, that PSG was trash. Another one's like 3.5, super team. It's so funny. I'm gonna go 3 because like that's what we have these tiers for. Like, if they're a super team with good players at every single position, they're a 4. If it's 3 forwards and bums in midfield, it's a 3. So we'll go 3 for PSG.
3
Chelsea.
is, yeah, 3
Wait,
is
what'd
accurate.
you give PSG for 2018 then? That
We
PSG
gave
team.
them- We gave them a 3. You think we should make that 3.5?
Good point. It can't be worse than that one. It was better than that team.
But they had Mbappe out, and Emery was new. Like, to be honest, they're very similar. I would argue
I would argue that PSG team, the 2017 one, was more structured than this one.
but the second one got closer to winning.
Mbappe, Neymar, they had all the
But yeah, the degree of difficulty in the 2022 one was higher because the first leg we couldn't escape our half, and the second leg we got cooked in the first half again. We were lucky Mbappe didn't score more goals.
And our team was worse in 2022.
Our team was worse, yeah.
I think vaguely the same is fair to say. I think like there might have been subtle differences. Vaguely, like you want there to be enough of a difference. Like was one team that much more of a contender than the other, or we're both going to require a little bit of luck? We're both like not fully up to scratch. Like I don't think Emery was going to take them that far against better teams. Like they had to absorb a lot of pressure, and they weren't that great at doing it, in my opinion. Let's just leave it at 3, and let's see where we come back. Chelsea's the harder one for me. Like, I don't think that's a 3.5. I think that's a 3, even though they won the year before.
Chelsea was honestly the toughest one.
So 3.5.
Chelsea to me was more difficult than City that year.
3.5 because of tactics, because they could have done that.
Chelsea's a solid 3, if not 3.5.
At least, because Tuchel just figured us out.
Yeah, and he had that template he could do against any team in Europe, and they were really hard. Like, it wasn't just us. Any team would have had problems. City, Liverpool, they might have gotten out against them. 3.5.
And I love how, like, in every single one of these, we have to, like, put the asterisks of, oh, yeah, the goalkeeper gave us a gift, too. Remember the Stamford Bridge one? Benzema plus shaky goalkeeper. That combination is guaranteed goal for us.
Rudiger. It's our boy Rudiger.
I don't know, sometimes when it comes to those games.
What did Rudiger do that time?
He biffed the ball that led to Benzema jumping on it.
In the second leg?
In the first leg.
Oh, I don't remember that.
In the second leg, he tripped. That counts.
In the second leg, he tripped.
The second leg,
tripped on the Benzema goal in the second leg, but in the first leg, it was him and the keeper, Mendy or whatever, that were coming out for it, and neither one of them really committed to it. And I think Rudiger got a really bad touch on it that led to Benzema jumping all over.
There was, I think, in the second leg, apart from that slip, Rudiger was incredible that game. Like, the job he did on Benzema, he scored also.
Isn't the rumor that's why they signed him? Because he proved that he could be a big player at a game in Madrid in the Champions League knockout. So,
yeah.
All right, so 3.5 it is. Then the next two, 4 and 4. 4 and 3.5. What do you guys have? Man City, Liverpool. Remember when we played?
That City team's tough, man. You were scary.
Man City, that's a solid 4. Possibly a 5.
Yeah. Liverpool's no, come on. That's just I'm not gonna have that. I'm not gonna have anyone calling that City team a 5. Sorry, that was insulting, Kiyan.
To who?
So we didn't have. There was not a single.
Who was insulting to who? That was an incredible team.
Ever? How dare you call some bum ass team that didn't even make the final a 5? The best teams ever are 5s, Kiyan. Come on, like the best team ever has to be 5. City outdid themselves the year after. If anything, like if you even call them a 5 was last year, and even then. I'm not calling them a 5. That's a 4 based on our criteria.
Point taken.
The closest
there's no 5
opponent this had in the last decade was Bayern in 2013-14.
5 is the treble winners. Yeah, like Madrid
Yep.
2017, Bayern 2013, Barca 2011, maybe Man City last year, Bayern 2020,
We
Barca
didn't
20.
win the treble, by the way.
Well, I know,
But
but like
but
the closest thing for us,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on fives? Anyone before anyone have any thoughts on Liverpool? Are they a 3.5 or a 4? Considering Captain Henderson couldn't run and he started the final.
I mean, if
I
City was a 4, Liverpool can't be a 4.
yeah, has to be a 3.5.
No, they can be a 4. We faced 2 4s in 20.
Yeah, but that Liverpool team was not better than that City team.
They
Well,
were
I'm saying
very close to each other in the league, and you were kind of had the same, you know,
They
same
were-
aspects of the style. Like,
Sid,
I think Liverpool
you're
were pretty
you're
good too, bro.
Not as good.
no, Liverpool was pretty good, but I think we are mixing it up a little bit regarding like which Real Madrid team they faced. If that Liverpool team faced the 2018 Liverpool Real Madrid team, like 22 Liverpool versus 2018 Real Madrid will walk over them all game anyway. So I think we're mixing it up a little bit by comparing to which Real Madrid they faced.
well,
I think
they
it
were
was a
the,
3.5.
well, they're the only team in the history of English football to actually be in contention for the quadruple till the final day of the season. They literally no team has been that.
Dude, if you invent another cup competition like Copa del Rey 2, we can be in contention for that too. The Carabao Cup means nothing.
Well, I just mean also look at their head-to-heads against City that season, against Chelsea. They were good. Like they drew both the City Liverpool games were 2-2 up and down draws. City didn't look better in those games.
Wait. Who did Liverpool beat to get to the final? Did they beat freaking Villarreal barely and Porto?
Yeah.
Yes,
I just thought about it.
They did have an easy run. They did have an easy run for sure. I don't deny that.
And we played the final very conservatively. That's why it made them look so good in the final too.
That was the
Yeah.
best offensive Liverpool of their whole run, though. Like XG per game, that was the only version with Thiago. XG 90, their progressions, like how often they entered the final third. All their metrics were actually like a 30-40% bump from the 2019 and 2020 seasons. And so like purely on a week-to-week basis, they felt really strong. They only lost the City by 1 point. So I guess like, is 1 point in the league enough of a difference for someone to be 4 to 3.5 Mehedi? It's a 1 point difference in the league, remember.
You know, I think just like somebody said right here in the chat, bro. Anybody that really makes it to the final, that means that team really went through it. And you deserve to be, you know, a 3.5 by 4 easily. But yeah, that's it. Yeah. So what would you give now? Let's rate Real Madrid then. Let's rate the squad of Real Madrid.
I'm gonna bump our 2018 up to a 4 because we played them in the final for like uniform criteria sake, and then I'm gonna keep this Liverpool at 4 as well. So now we have a final tally. 11, 14.5. Actually, we do have ties. 2022 and 2017 are tied for first, half a point ahead of 2018. This whole exercise taught us almost nothing.
Well, in terms of degree of difficulty of opponents, 18 and 22 were both pretty high. The difference, but the reason why 2022 was more difficult was because our team wasn't as good as 2018. That's where I think. So because the next criteria in the tiebreaker is how good our team was, I think.
Exactly.
This one has 17 above 18 by half a point, but they're basically the same. And yes, if you use that third tiebreaker, 2022 was the hardest, followed by 2018 and then 2017. But hey, 2014 and 16 were just not as impressive. So we really got to see like progressively harder Champions Leagues. I think that's what we can take away from this. The last 3 or the last 4 have each been consecutively harder. 2016 was the easiest of them all, but since then each one was harder than the last. So maybe we're due an easy run. And ranking us, fine, let's do it. 2014, I would argue we were a 4. 2016, we were a 4. 2017, we were a 5. I would argue we were a 4 every year except 2017 when we were a 5.
Let's pour one up for all the bums. Who are on the bums list? Schalke?
That's
Wolfsburg.
Schalke, Wolfsburg, and Roma as well. Yeah.
Pellegrini City, which was just an abysmal tie.
There are
Awful.
By the way, as an honest Zidane fan, I would like to pour my heart out to Rafa Benitez because he coached the team really well during the group stages. We scored like 6-0, 8-0, and that
Yes.
gave us, I think, the first
The 9-1.
position.
Remember the 9-1?
Yes.
Against
It was
Rayo?
a 9-1 game.
No. The 9-1 was Ancelotti against Granada.
There was like an 8-2 against Rayo, wasn't there? Or something like
No,
that?
there was a
9-2.
10-2 against Rayo.
10-2.
That was Benitez. 10-2.
Wait, you're talking about Rafa when we won the Malmo team. I think it was a 9-1 or was it 9-1 or 7-1? I think Ronaldo scored a
9-1.
hat trick.
9-1 was Granada, Ancelotti. 10-2 was Rayo. Bale scored 4, and Ronaldo and Benzema scored hat tricks. And we also scored, I think, 8-0 against Malmo or someone in the Champions League. Ronaldo scored a hat trick that day.
Oh yeah, it's 8-0. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Rafa
look, we're
took a crippled Madrid team, the PSG, filled with subs, and beat them there on the road with a bunch of bang average beat up players. Dude deserves more credit.
Yeah, I think Nacho scored against PSG, didn't he?
yeah, it was a crazy, like, acute angle
Nacho.
goal.
Yeah, I will die on that hill.
Nah, man, I remember that game. We literally did nothing outside that goal. We were garbage. Like, I hate to, like, I get what you're saying. I think what he brought was like the beginning of Casemiro, Lucas Vasquez, like defending in those games. I like that, but the balance was just so much better. You can do that and attack as we did under Zidane. Also, Ibrahimovic and Di Maria like hit the post at the end of that game. If I'm not wrong, we almost conceded the equalizer. They put a lot of pressure on us.
Yeah. Yeah, and we had a lot of injuries in that season early on. The team wasn't too good. But I would say, the only time that we actually beat PSG at home was the 2018. And it was like Casemiro was deflected from whoever was defender. PSG always played well against us in Parc des Princes. And yeah, that was a historical game. That'll be all, man. For me, it talked a lot, man. Shit.
Are you sure, man? That was like because
No, I'm good.
we got through it pretty quickly. So do you want to go back to 1950? I think it'll be interesting.
I'm good.
We
I'm good.
no? Okay, all right.
Thank you,
Zuhair.
guys.
Thanks, Zuhair.